The Department of Agriculture does not offer every senior the same deal on home repair money. It offers 4, and which one lands on your kitchen table has almost nothing to do with how bad your roof is. It comes down to one question nobody at that office will ever ask you in plain English. Can you carry a monthly payment? That's the whole dividing line. Answer it one way and the federal government hands you $10,000 and never asks for a penny back. Answer it the other way and you get $40,000 at 1% over 20 years. There's a third group where one door opens and the other stays shut, and nobody explains why. And a fourth that qualifies for all of it and should think hard before signing anything. 4 groups, and every person watching is sitting in one. Here they are up front so you'll know which is yours before we're 2 minutes in. Group 1 is 62 or older, and honestly could not take on another payment. This group gets the grant, and it's the one I most want to reach today. Group 2 is 62 or older, but a small payment wouldn't break them. They can reach more money than Group 1, and almost nobody in it learns the 2 pieces stack. Group 3 is under 62, small town, low income. One door is open to you, and the other isn't, and I'll tell you which rather than let a clerk do it at a counter. Group 4 owns the home and would qualify, but there's a move coming inside 3 years. That's the one I'd ask you to stay for, because it's where this money quietly turns into a loan you didn't know you signed. It lands last, and for some of you it decides whether to apply at all. First, 3 things that are true no matter which group you land in. You own the home and you live in it. Primary residence, not a rental you collect on, not the place at the lake. The house sits in a rural area, and rural doesn't mean a dirt road and a barn. Generally, it means a town under 35,000 people. That's a town with a grocery store, a high school, and a couple of stoplights. Enormous stretches of this country clear that bar and have no idea they count as rural. Don't guess. USDA runs an income and property eligibility website where you type in the address and it tells you. Your income has to be what they call very low income, which generally means at or below half the area median income for your county. Half of what a typical household where you live pulls in. That's different in every county in America, which is why I can't tell you yours and won't pretend to. A quick word on savings, because people disqualify themselves here for no reason. You're allowed a cushion. $15,000 in liquid assets, or $20,000 if you're 62 or older. Money in the bank does not knock you out. I'm not a lawyer, I don't work for USDA, and I can't run your county's numbers. What I can do is hand you the real figures and the exact door to walk them through. One last thing before we split you up, because it explains why this money goes unclaimed. The program is Section 504, USDA Rural Development runs it, and the full name on the door is Section 504 Home Repair Loans and Grants. Loans and grants. 2 words, 2 completely different things inside one program name, and most people read the first and stop reading. A loan is money you borrow and pay back. A grant is money they hand you and you keep. Same program, same office, same form, opposite outcomes. Which one you walk out with is decided by that one question. Group 1. You're 62 or older, and when you sit down at the end of the month, the money isn't there. Not for a big payment, not for a small one. You already know this about your own life. You get the grant. $10,000, lifetime maximum. $15,000 if the president has declared your county a disaster area. The arithmetic is the shortest in this video. The payment is nothing. The interest is nothing. And the total you hand back over 20 years is nothing. Hold on to those 3 zeros, because in a few minutes I'll put a real monthly number beside them, and only then will you see what Group 1 is being handed. 2 things qualify you. You have to be 62 or older, and you have to be unable to repay a repair loan. Both, together. Age alone does not do it, and anybody telling you 62 is the whole test is doing you harm. Now go back over that second one slowly. Unable to repay a loan. That is not a disqualifier. That is the qualification. The exact fact you believe rules you out is the fact this grant was written for. Sit with that, because nearly every senior I hear from says some version of the same sentence. I'm on a fixed income. I could never take on a loan at my age. They say it like it's the reason they can't get help. It's the reason they can get help. Somebody understood that a 70-year-old widow on a fixed check cannot sign a 20-year note, so they built a version that isn't a note at all. Nobody's hiding it. They just never said it out loud in a room you were standing in. Here's the limit, and I'd rather you hear it from me than a clerk who's had a long morning. Grant dollars are strictly for removing health and safety hazards. Not a nicer kitchen, not carpet, not a deck, not one thing you'd call an upgrade. Bad wiring, a roof letting water into the house, heat that doesn't run, steps that'll put you on the floor one of these winters. What's $10,000 worth against that? I won't invent a roof price for you. Call the roofer, get a quote on paper for whatever in that house is genuinely dangerous, and hold it next to $10,000 you never pay back. That comparison is yours to run, not mine. Your step, Group 1. Go to rd.usda.gov or find your local rural development office. That's USDA, not HUD, not Social Security, not City Hall, because the wrong desk is how people get told no by somebody who never handled this program. Then ask for it by name. The Section 504 Home Repair Grant. Say the word grant out loud or you'll be handed loan paperwork. Loan is the default. Don't know your office? Dial 211. Group 2. 62 or older, same as Group 1, but a small payment wouldn't sink you. There's a little room. Not much, but if 100 and something left your account on the first of every month, you'd still eat. You get a bigger door. $40,000, 1% fixed, 20 years, paid monthly. Run that out, and the payment lands right around $184 a month, every month, for 240 months. All in, you hand back near $44,000, which is roughly $4,000 of interest spread across 2 decades on $40,000 borrowed. Your office will give you the exact figure, but that's the shape of it. I won't tell you what a bank would charge for the same money because I don't know their rate and won't invent one to make this look good. Do this instead tomorrow. Call your own bank, ask what a $40,000 home improvement loan costs over 20 years at their rate today, and set their monthly payment next to $184. That comparison hits harder from them than from me. Now the part almost nobody in Group 2 ever learns. The loan and the grant are not either or. They stack, together, up to $50,000. $55,000 in a disaster area. Look at what that does to the math. $50,000 of work on your house, and only $40,000 of it ever gets repaid. The other $10,000 is grant money, carrying no payment, no interest, no monthly anything. So your payment on $50,000 of repairs is the same $184 a month it would have been on $40. The last $10,000 rides free for 20 years. Let me be precise, because that sounds like it contradicts Group 1. The grant test hasn't moved, 62 or older, and unable to repay. So how does anyone get both? Unable to repay isn't a light switch. That office weighs what you can carry, and if you can handle part of the cost but not all of it, that gap is exactly why the combination exists. A loan for the piece you can carry, a grant for the piece you can't. Your step, Group 2. Same office but a different ask, and this is where people leave $10,000 behind. Ask for the Section 504 home repair loan, and ask in the same breath whether any part can come as a grant. Say only the word loan, and a loan is what you'll get. Group 3. You're under 62. Small town, low income, you own the place, everything else fits. I'll be straight with you, because you deserve better than finding this out at a counter. The grant is not yours. Not yet. The test is 62 or older and unable to repay. Both halves. There's no version of this program where being under 62 and short on money gets you grant dollars, and if somebody told you otherwise, they were wrong. But the loan door is wide open, and it's a real door. $40,000, 1% fixed, 20 years, that same $184 a month. Being under 62 changes nothing about that. Here's what changes at 62, worth writing on a calendar. 2 things. The age half of the grant test opens, the obvious one, and your cushion goes up. Under 62, you can hold $15,000 in liquid assets. At 62, it's $20,000. $5,000 more you can keep and still qualify. Your step, Group 3, and it's 2 calls. First, rural development, and ask for the Section 504 home repair loan. Don't waste the trip asking about the grant. Second, dial 211 and write down 2 names. WAP, the Weatherization Assistance Program, and LIHEAP, Help with the Energy Bill. Both have real money in them. Limits vary by state, so I won't quote a number I can't stand behind. One quick thing before the last group, because you'll see it in the headlines. On July 11th, 2026, the 21st Century Road to Housing Act became law, creating a HUD repair pilot. Sounds wonderful. Here's the truth. It isn't funded, it isn't open, there's no application, and not one line in it is written for seniors. It pays nobody today. Section 504 pays today. One of those is a press release, the other has a phone number. Group 4, the one I told you to stay for. You own the home, and you'd qualify. Maybe as Group 1, maybe as Group 2. But there's a move coming. Your daughter's in another state, the stairs are winning, and sometime in the next 3 years, you're selling. Nobody says this next part out loud until you're already at a closing table. The grant is not forgiven unconditionally. USDA's own language is that grants do not have to be repaid unless the property is sold in less than 3 years. Read that the way a lawyer would. Take the $10,000, sell in month 26, and you write a check to the federal government for $10,000 out of your closing money. Not a portion, not a prorated slice. It isn't prorated at all. Sell in month 35, one single month short of the line, and the entire $10,000 comes due. Put a number on that clock. 3 years is 36 months with $10,000 riding on it, which works out to about $278 a month for the simple act of staying in the house you already live in. And it only pays out if you make all 36. Miss it, and it was never a grant. It was a loan you didn't know you signed, on terms you never agreed to, due on a day somebody else picked. Now hear the other half, because for most of you this never lays a finger on you. If you're 62, 70, 75, you own your place and you're staying, that clause comes and goes and you never feel it happen. 3 years pass and the thing quietly becomes exactly what it looked like on paper all along. Group 4 step isn't a phone call. It's one sentence you say to yourself before you say a word to USDA. Am I going to be in this house 36 months from today? If the answer is no, or even probably not, don't take the grant. Take that question to rural development anyway and ask straight, if I sell in 26 months, what do I owe and what changes if I take the loan instead? Get the answer before you sign, not after. Then dial 211 about WAP, LIHEAP, and your area agency on aging. Limits vary by state. Ask them, not me. Being told this today instead of at a closing table is worth more than the $10,000 is, because at that table, nobody asks your permission. Let me walk it back, group by group, so a late arrival still finds themselves. Group 1, 62 or older with no room for a payment. That's the grant. $10,000, nothing a month, nothing over 20 years, health and safety hazards only. Ask Rural Development for the Section 504 grant by name. Group 2, 62 or older and a small payment is doable. $40,000 at 1%, about $184 a month, near $44,000 back all in. Ask whether part can come as a grant because the two stack to $50,000 and that office won't volunteer it. Group 3, under 62. The loan is open to you, the grant isn't, and I won't pretend otherwise. Apply for the loan, dial 211 for WAP and LIHEAP, and put 62 on the calendar. Group 4, selling inside 3 years. Sit on your hands and ask the question first. $10,000 comes back out of your closing money, all of it, and nobody warns you while there's still time for it to matter. 4 groups, 4 answers, 1 question underneath all of them. The people who get this money aren't luckier than you, and they aren't better connected. They answered that question honestly, then asked for the right door by name. I'm not a lawyer or a financial advisor, and none of this is advice about your situation. Take these numbers to rural development and let them run yours. One favor before you go, send this to somebody over 62 who owns their home, especially if you've watched their roof get worse while they told you they couldn't afford to fix it. They probably can. They just don't know which group they're in. And tell me in the comments, which group are you? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Just the number. I want to see how many of you have been sitting in group 1 this whole time, dead certain you'd been ruled out, when the exact thing you thought ruled you out is the thing that qualifies you.